Here he is. Terry, how are you, mate?
Boys, congratulations. Happy birthday. And what a pleasure it is to be back on. Look at us.
Who would have thought we'd be here this many episodes later? Thank you very much, mate. You've been a massive supporter of us for a very long time now, so we really appreciate it.
No, of course, mate. These are special moments. You've got to cherish them.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. I know. Just trying to think when we had that first ever guest episode was midway through 2020, and
yeah,
we were operating with some interesting graphics and not really sure how Zoom or Skype, which one was the right thing to do. And now we're on StreamYard. It's all happening, and very, very, very grateful for everything and for all your help along the way too, mate. It's been super.
No, don't even mention it, boys. We've got 100 down. We've only got about 900 more episodes to go.
That's it.
Exactly.
Just a few more. But obviously, you'd be pretty stoked at the moment. I know you and Marcus will probably get into it right now, but the Blues are absolutely flying at the moment. And I see you've been pretty chirpy after a big win against the Bombers, spoiling their birthday party. I hope you don't do the same for ours. But what are your thoughts at the moment, mate? You're obviously loving life.
Yeah, grateful because obviously, Quinn, I'm sure you're aware of the life that we've just been living in Carlton land, and we haven't quite risen over the mountain yet, and we've been waiting for a turning point. And it looks like, I know it's halfway through the year, but it really does look like a turning point has come, and hopefully this is the beginning of the Carlton run.
Yeah, mate, absolutely. I was just saying that before. I think if we beat Richmond next week, we go equal top. I mean, just hearing those words just doesn't sound right, does it?
It doesn't. It doesn't sound right. I was actually chatting about this the other night. Usually in this point of the season, we're talking about how probably can't make finals. Hey, like we're just not one of those teams. And the change in conversation around, I'm pretty sure we're going to play finals. And you get more and more confident with each win that you get. And I've been saying that you've got to win 12 to make finals, but it almost now looks like you've got to win 13. So we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, for sure. I think the game against Essendon as well was always going to be a test, especially without Wiedering. But I felt like players like Lewis Young, even having Marchbank back in the team was super. And I mean, if we can get the output from those guys while Wiedering's out, then I think we'll be able to do a lot better over the next few weeks than originally thought. 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, 100%. It's never as good as it seems, but it's also never as bad as it seems. And with Marchbank in the side now, I don't know. Like, do we start planning with Marchbank? If we do, we've got Marchbank, Wiedering at one end, Harry, Charlie at the other end, Cripps, Walsh, Hewitt in the middle. Like, that's a flag, right?
Oh, jeez.
That's a big call. That's what that is. That's a big call.
You never know. But yeah, they're playing bloody good footy, and it's usually hard for us to admit it at times, considering where we've been. But the footy that we're seeing at the moment is incredible, and that midfield is doing some crazy things. So it's good to see. And I mean, I know you find it hard to talk good about Carlton at times, and you've definitely admitted it at stages this year as well.
I think the funniest thing from my point of view is going to games with you as well is you guys might be 20 points up in the last quarter, and for everyone else, it's like, oh, game's done, it's wrapped up, and you still, I think you're not used to having these sorts of wins and holding on. You can still see you're real nervous. You're not used to the fact that, oh, we'll win this one now. And I think that's the funny thing, seeing you jump over that hurdle and accepting that your team's actually pretty good.
Yeah, well, I mean, Terry, you say that a lot. It's that PTSD that we've had for 20 years, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we've always been waiting every week. It's like, well, how are we going to muff it this week? Like, what's it going to be this week? And at which point in the game are we going to fall apart this week? And now that that's changing, and well, it's changed. They're a real competitive unit. Like they've got this real desire about them, and you can just tell, like they're just all committed and really united.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. It sums it up really well. And I think Vossi, arguably our biggest recruit in the off season, he's been super, and the spray that he gave on Friday night as well. What did you think of it? I personally loved it, and considering we were winning and had full control of the game, for him to do that was good to see.
Yeah, I mean, the beauty is we've got a coach who's actually climbed the mountain at a really high level. He's captained a club, to 3 flags in a row. So within that, you got, expectations. It's hard to stay at the top for a long time. Obviously the Tigers have been able to do it. And they sit right with the Lions as one of the, the big dynasties of the modern era. And to have that guy coaching us, I mean, if you're a player, like there's a reason why he's going at the guys, and just looks like he's trying to raise the standards, which is again exactly what we asked for over the last few years.
Yeah, absolutely. Considering where we've been, I mean, how many times last year did we talk about David Teague on the podcast and what was going on there? So to have a breath of fresh air like Michael Voss has been incredible.
I think one thing I was really impressed with was on the weekend, 3/4 time against the Bombers. You guys were leading like relatively comfortably. It didn't seem like there was any real threat to the game there. And Vossi was going off on the boys. He was teeing off because
More
he just
on that effort and standards.
100%. And that's the thing. I think probably last year, if you guys had been up, it would have been, "What on, boys? You're killing it. You're winning." But this year, it's like we're winning, but not good enough.
Yep. Yeah, it's good to see the standards.
Exactly right. All right. Well, let's ask some mid-year questions like we did with Jake before. We'll start off with game of the year so far.
Don't do it.
Richmond.
I knew it. This is when we asked you earlier 2 years ago now, which your favorite game of all time was. It was 2013 elimination final as well. I got to stop jumping on these podcasts, honestly.
It's a sign of respect. That's taken as a badge of respect.
Yeah, no, I'll take that. I'll accept it. All right, who's been your best player so far? There's been a few.
Wow. God, Cripps has been. I think he's been our best player. There's so many of them. I think Cripps just.
It's hard to argue that. He's one of the Brownlow favourites as well.
Yeah, I mean, his first 7-8 rounds was incredible. Some of the best football I've seen from a player. It was, absolutely nuts. It dropped off a little bit, but that's only due to his high standards, really.
It's goal kicking too that he's been doing this year, which has been lacking. So,
yep. And where we're finishing up, end of the year, be careful.
I had a listen. I caught the end of Jake from Saints TV, and you obviously asked the question to him, and I went back to the ladder predictor, just reshuffle things a little bit. I've got us winning. Initially, I had us winning 12 games. I'm looking at 14 wins now, which will give us, if I've calculated correctly, 5th spot.
And that's a home final. That is a home final. That could be, if we finish 5th, and by the looks of the ladder at the moment,
Richmond are 8th. No, I can't do it.
Collingwood are 8th. Imagine one of those again in a big final.
I couldn't do another elimination final against the Blues. I couldn't do it.
Talk about PTSD.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I reckon I'd leave the country and just hope for the best from somewhere abroad. But speaking of the Tigers, obviously it's this Thursday night. We're playing again, round 14 at the G. Tigers obviously want to bounce back after round 1. Blues up and about at the moment. What are your thoughts on this game? Wiedering out, Lynch comes in. It obviously makes a big difference, but I think you've got the stocks to cover yourselves around the rest of the ground. How are you thinking it's going to pan out?
I think we do. I mean, look, I think we do have enough to win the game. I think it's going to be red hot. I think it's going to be a tight game. I don't care what everyone else says. I still have Richmond, as one of the teams that you respect more than most, because what at any given game, especially at the MCG, they can play as good as anybody there if it's all gelling for them. And Lynch back gives them the identity of who they are back, and their back six is humming along as well. So full respect to Richmond, but I've got faith in our group, and I think we've got plenty of players that are playing that can still help to get the job done. And I just think it's going to be a coin flip of a game.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a great game. I think it's going to be as hot as it was round 1. I mean, weather-wise, who knows? It could be wet like it was for the Essendon game. But I think, to be honest, I'm not just saying this as a Carlton man, but I do think we've got the better team and we're playing the better footy at the moment. And I fully expect us to win. But in saying that, I think if Richmond do win, then you're well and truly back, I'd say. Maybe not back as that force, but I think you're going to be back into that finals contention. So
yeah, I don't think we're going to be back as that sort of force, but 100%. If we can beat the Blues this season, I'll be pretty confident going forward that we will play finals. And in round 1, Terry, we had a bet to see whichever team won, the other one had to buy a 3-game membership. So I am a Carlton member this season, as much as it hurts to admit. I've used it for 1 game, so I've got 2 more games to tick off before the end of the year, but we need help. We need another bet to come up with for this week. We need help. We can't think of one. So we're asking you. We've got the man behind the Richmond journey coming up next as well. We're going to speak to him and see what he thinks and sort of pick which way he reckons is the best. But any ideas? What can you throw towards us?
You've already worn the Guernsey. I think you did that last year, right?
Yeah, the Guernsey was...
that was round 1. So it was the Guernsey,
it was the Guernsey and the membership.
Yeah,
it was a double whammy round 1. So
I'm going to say I got it. You donate another 3-game membership to one of your audience members
Ooh.
Yeah.
from the other club.
Yeah.
So you find a
Yeah,
Richmond supporter or a Carlton supporter and you donate one.
I like it.
Yeah, I don't
I like
mind
it.
that.
I
No,
like
we
it.
keep it even. We keep it even.
Yeah.
All right, beautiful.
Yeah, love it. All right, Terry.
Good one, Terry.
We'll jump into the pressure cooker. So the quick fire questions, then we'll let you go and get on with the rest of your night. If you had to delist one player on your team, who would it be?
It's probably hard at the moment because you're all so good.
Will Hayes. That's an easy. That's a cop out of an answer for me.
It's a bit. He came on board with us last week. So
We did give the man a chance,
Yeah.
Terry. Honestly, if you could add one player from another list, who are you picking?
Dusty.
Yeah,
yeah.
can't argue
Yeah.
that.
Would you wear your team colours to a neutral game?
No.
Footy jumpers to games, yes or no?
No from me.
Which team do you love betting the most? I think I know the answer to this one.
Essendon.
It's a team with a sash, but it ain't Richmond.
yeah.
And I don't know why I'm bothering asking the last one, but who's your favourite pressure point coach?
You said this already.
Yeah, you've answered it now. You come back on your words. So
Mate, when you're part of the family, bloody's thicker than water. Marcus is my man, and for obvious reasons. Quinn, if you were wearing a Blues Guernsey, I don't know, it would be different.
well, yeah, if it was the second episode of the year, maybe I would have had one on after the loss. That's all good. All good. I knew that one was coming.
Awesome. No, well, thanks a lot again, Terry, for coming on, mate. And yeah, again, thank you for all your support over the journey since we've started. It's been much appreciated. And yeah, for those listening, Blue Abroad, make sure you follow. I'm sure a lot of you would have heard of it. It's one of the best fan channels going around in the country. So make sure you give them a follow, all the Carlton supporters out there especially. So, but no, thanks, Terry, and good luck with the Blue Abroad show tonight as well.
Thanks so much, guys. Congratulations. Honestly, it's a serious achievement, paving the way, for the footy media world. And, I think the improvement that you guys have shown is a real testament to the work that goes in. So keep it up and, always right in your corner.